Next is from Jimmy Lennon. Subject is Anderson comments. Anytime a wrestler has anything less than positive to say about a former employee, coworker who's still with the company or the company itself, they always get tagged with the label bitter. At the minute, Karl Anderson is getting that label, and while he does have reason to be bitter at WWE, he got re-signed and barely used over 3 years, and was then fired while out injured. Recently caught some flack online for saying that he wanted out of WWE once he said people asking for the once he says people asking The Rock for selfies. What was this? What is this story, Joe?
Yeah, I got it.
Oh, when okay, I get okay. So this is a quote from Karl Anderson. He says he saw people. Read this. Okay, this is from Karl Anderson. Anderson, the Rock with a sad face. I'm just going to say this about the Rock and why I put the sad face. I'll say all of this. I have to say this. The Rock was always on my Mount Rushmore. When I was in high school, I remember being just drawn to The Rock. I've always thought he was one of the greatest performers of all time. He's obviously the greatest star in Hollywood, but now that he's clearly on the board and he's running the WWE, right? I mean, he does basically, and the media. People are enamored by the guy. I think I put the sad face there because it's clear. I'm hyping him up because I've had him on a pedestal. Man, he was on Mount Rushmore. I would have put four Rockies on Mount Rushmore, but I put the sad face there because how do I say this without giving it? Maybe there's a little disappointment, I guess. It's like, I got to talk. Okay, now I got to go. I gotta. I want to talk a lot on the May 7th and May 8th and furthermore expound on it. Oh, that was Luke Ellis. I'm disappointed, man. Okay. Okay, here it is. Man, I had him on the Mount Rushmore. I had him on Mount Rushmore like 3 or 4 times. Um, just maybe he might be chiseled off that Mount Rushmore now. Maybe there's a little just a bit disappointment because I just saw the business is so different now, but I can't expound on anything else. And I guess he said, oh, here we go. When I saw people running up to the Rock backstage at Gorilla and asked for pictures in the Gorilla, I was like, I got to get out. This is the same for me, bro. So he left the WWE because he got upset seeing people asking the Rock for autographs at the Gorilla
That's not a
promotion.
good reason.
Yeah, I don't know.
Wait,
That's
wait 1 minute.
enough.
Wait 1 second. I gotta take a bathroom break.
All
But
right.
that's O'Shea Jackson. I seen Jackson Jr. was talking about that on Twitter, where he said that about meeting Lionel Messi and how it's not a problem, and Shane Helms is getting involved. Uh, why the fuck is asking The Rock for a photograph something to get annoyed at? Would you see The Rock every day? Old Dwayne hanging around the fucking office again? Like, no, it's this megastar who just so happens to be back for one of his biannual returns. No pun intended. So the whole thing, it's that I just think that is a bitter, angry comment. Uh, unless obviously he knows more what's going on behind the scenes, but that's a weird thing to say
It was
about.
probably just designed to draw interest to the return of their podcast. Figure out something that'll get attention.
Probably, yeah, but that whole shit about fucking like but he has that thing where it's like what do they call themselves, the Good Brothers, and they gotta fucking know we're old school guys, all that shit. I think it's dumb. What do you think, Disco?
What about those two guys? I thought they're good performers.
No, about The Rock.
I said this. I think that's not that good of a reason to leave.
Do you think he's full of shit?
No, I just think he's like he's left and he's a little bit bitter probably. They got rid of him. So what are you gonna do?
And what did that email say? Was it about he's taking The Rock off?
Bro, you're talking way too much about Karl Anderson here. All right, this is not this. The conversation's over.
Let's talk about Joe's Pizza. Joe, what do you think about pizza?
Pizza conversation is funnier than Karl Anderson talk.
I like putting hot pepper seeds on my pizza every now and then when I'm feeling.
What about pineapple?
No pineapple, no.
Yeah, no way, right?
Yeah, what's better,
pineapple
girls
on a pizza? Club vegan pizza. I'm like, what is vegan pizza? That's ridiculous.
I don't know. I put pizza with the vegetables on it. You get a little broccoli and tomato on there. That's an onion.
But isn't cheese dairy?
How can you have non-dairy cheese on your vegan pizza?
Satisfy
you.
That's
I'm gonna Jade Blue Ball Bells R Blue says Jade Cargill will be 60 in a few years. Well, everybody will be 60 eventually if they're still
Yeah.
alive. You know, if you don't die before you're 60, you'll be 60.
This
Is that pretty much?
This is kind of a rude question, but do you mind if I ask what your age is?
Me? Everybody,
Yeah.
the mother knows I'm 57 years old.
Public.
You look fucking great.
I know.
Like you legitimately could be like a 40-year-old ugly man or something like
Girls
that.
they say look like I'm 40-something years old. I'm
Hey.
only 57. But I
Hey,
put cocoa butter on my face every day.
hey, Disco, by the way, is it true that Jade Cargill gets up in your DMs and you had to ask her to stop?
It's not funny. I wish we had the kazoo here for Conan. Hughie, who's funnier?
Me.
Joe, who's funnier? Hughie or Raven?
Oh, you know where I got to go on that. That's got to be Raven.
You're just better, Disco. You're Karl Anderson.
Triple threat. Oh, by the way, Joe, didn't we? They have. By the way, we spoke of this the last day we talked about this on the podcast. The next day they announced all the shows. Give me
That's
the
true.
card for night 1 and night 2. Pull it up
Yeah.
for night 1 and night 2 because I think night 2 is significantly better than night 1. To be honest, or maybe it was night 1 that's significantly better than night 2. Pull it up on the big screen here.
Hey, Disco, what's better, a pineapple on a pizza or the Beatles?
Neither. They're both at the bottom, under the barrel.
All right. Night 1.
Okay.
War Raiders New Day. Ray
Not
versus
Ray versus the old
Americano.
Grand Americano. Very interested in that.
Jade Naomi.
Interested in that.
LA Knight and Fatu. Yes.
Not that interested.
Stratton and Charlotte.
Interested.
Gunther and Jay. That's
Interested.
Night 1's pretty good. And then the triple threat.
That's good.
Not that interested. Night 2.
Night 2. Women's tag titles. Liv and Raquel.
This is interesting. Hang on, I want to watch this.
Oh, shit, yeah.
My tribal chief. Pat, what a mess Paul Heyman finds himself in.
Oh.
Slunk in his corner.
Paul's not moving so well.
Yeah, he's a foul
Is it?
bastard.
It's like
Yeah, but
two
it's not
high
like
school lovers got jaded there. So, all right,
Wasn't
night
like this
2.
fat guy Waddle though. It looked like he's got knee problems or something. The way he's
Okay,
walking.
so Liv Morgan and Raquel versus Bailey and Lyra Valkyria. Completely not interested.
Dream
AJ
match.
Styles versus Logan Paul. Very interested. Braun Breaker versus Penta versus Finn versus Dominic. Not that interested. Damian Priest versus Drew. I am getting interested. Io versus Bianca versus Rhea. Not that interested. Cody versus John Cena. Very interested.
There's Conan back.
How many interested? I'm only interested in like half the card on both shows. Interesting.
Night 1's definitely, but AJ and Logan, Rhodes and Cena. I'm interested in Damian and Drew. The 4-way. Yeah, you know what? Night 2's not that bad.
Right. All right. Let's ask
Hey.
a couple of questions and watch this promo by Roman.
Yeah. See, this before we move on to the next question. Conan, could we get your opinion on the Karl Anderson and The Rock thing?
No, we're moving on.
It's kind of dumb.
Next
I
is from
think.
Brian Waite, the Grade 8 Theory. Brian from South Africa.
What do you mean no?
These guys,
Wait,
hopefully
What do you mean no, Disco? Are you the only one that gets to answer here?
You already said the Carl Anderson. You said you think there's a bad reason for him to think it. He keeps wanting to talk about the Carl
I didn't
Anderson.
say shit.
Yes, you did. When we talked
Did I
about Carl
say
Anderson, The
something, Joe?
Rock, you said that's not a very
You
good
did
reason.
say
for
it's
him.
not a good reason. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
my
you
bad.
said- right.
Yo, what's up? I just want to thank you guys for watching this clip. Don't forget to hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And join our YouTube membership for hours and hours of exclusive, unedited, uncensored content. And being a member will help you get involved in our upcoming live streams. Thank you for your support. Thank you for riding with us. I know you got a lot of other podcast choices, be it wrestling or other ones. And thank you for picking us. Boom.